With cuts to education and the current administration's antipathy towards anything that relates to diversity, equity, and inclusion, my first guest finds himself in that discussion. Joe McFerrin II is president and CEO of Rosemary Anderson School and POIC, the Portland Opportunities Industrialization Center. It has 5 campuses, mainly in East County and North Portland, 4 high schools and 1 middle school, and overall 19 locations, including administration, providing services mainly to students and families of color, many low income. Those services fall in the areas of education, workforce development, violence prevention, and family health and wellness. They serve about 3,000 students and families and many more who avail themselves of their services. Joe McFerrin II, welcome to Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thanks, Ken, for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Well, you're celebrating 30 years at POIC and Rosemary Anderson High School, now middle school as well. You added that. Recently, Mayor Keith Wilson said that there was March 6th was Joe McFerrin II Day. So you got a day named for you by the mayor. How does it feel to get that kind of recognition?
You know, it feels good, Ken, to get that kind of recognition for the work that I have been able to lead alongside so many others. I can say that I stand on the shoulders of those before me, and I lean on those elders in our community to keep this work going. But it's been a collective effort, and I'm just happy to run point with this effort at POIC, and we've been around since 1967, providing services to vulnerable people in our community.
What need does POIC and Rosemary Anderson schools, what need does it fill in the city?
POIC is about providing people with hope. We love to serve people who have found themselves in a situation where there are no prospects through education or through employment or a path forward to self-sufficiency. We love working with students who struggle in the public school system. We wish that the public school system could handle all kids, but we know that the system's not designed for all kids. And so we're there as a safety net for our students to inspire them, to hold their hand, to walk with them, to support them, and to lead them on their path to success.
How much federal funding do you get? About what's your budget and how much is the federal funding a part of that?
Our annual budget's just shy of $25 million annually. Of that, about $5 million of those dollars are federal dollars. Now, some of our federal funding is direct, but about half of it is passed through the state, through the city, and through the county. So the cuts that are on the table are something that we're seriously concerned about.
Let's dive into that. How concerned are you about the administration's stance against DEI? Could it trickle down to an organization like yours in terms of that federal funding?
No question. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what's really going on in terms of how it's going to impact us. I'm watching the news daily. I'm reading accounts of what's going on, and these stories that I'm hearing about the impact of these cuts are just heart-wrenching. At this particular point, we have not faced a cut yet, but what we're doing, the prudent thing, is that we're planning for cuts to come down the line. And so, unfortunately, we're going to have to make some difficult decisions. I'm happy to say that that the services to our people will be impacted, but we have some things in place to minimize and mitigate the impacts of losing federal funding.
Do you consider POIC a DEI program considering the population you serve?
Yes, and you know that's a loaded question, Ken, and I'm going to stand on that. We are a DEI program, but you know, from a personal perspective, I don't care what you call it. You know, we are here to help people who are most marginalized, who are struggling the most, and if you look at all the data, these are people of color and poor white folks as well. And so I don't care what you call it, I'm in love with our mission in terms of serving these people and providing them hope and putting them on a path to self-sufficiency. And again, you can call it what you want to, we're gonna continue this work no matter what the administration wants to call it or wants to do about it.
You recently announced a downtown safety initiative in downtown Portland with $1 million in state funding directed by Governor Kotek. Downtown is outside of your traditional service area, so what will you be doing downtown and why did you decide to branch out? into the central city?
Yeah, great question. First of all, one of the things you talked about it is that community safety, public safety, violence prevention is core to our mission. And we've had tremendous success in that line of work. And we've been recognized nationally for that work. And what we want to do is take that model of working with people with lived experience around violence and translate that model to folks who are downtown and homeless. And it's driven and based around hiring people who've lived that lifestyle, they've cleaned themselves up, and they're on a trajectory towards success. We want to tap into that talent. Not only do we want to tap into that talent, but we want to professionalize that work, give them a path forward. And we're on the verge of doing that. I'm so excited about what is to come. And we bring a culturally specific aspect to the work downtown. Ken, there's a ton of really good efforts that are going around homeless folks downtown, and we just want to come in and join the work, and we're excited about it.
How do you measure success at POIC?
It depends on which service element. So education, it's about progress towards graduation, post-secondary ed, or onto a job. When we talk about workforce, completing a 12-week training, okay, and then going on to be placed in a job, and then we're looking at retention, so that's workforce. In terms of violence prevention, we're looking for folks to not recidivate. So we work with some of the highest risk individuals in our community, and when we get our hands on them and get them into our program, we want to get them on a track towards success and keep them out of the criminal justice system. As it refers to, as we talk about health and wellness, we look at, and this is our newest initiative, and I'm excited about it as well, is that we want all people to have health insurance. We want all people to have a primary care provider. We want all people to take advantage of annual checkups and preventative medicine and understand how to read their labs. That's really the baseline education that you and I and many of us know about. We want all of our community members to be able to access the system and take advantage of it and be healthy.
Now, when you're talking about what might happen down the road in terms of federal funding, you're starting to create an endowment. So
Yes.
Tell us about that and how viewers can help with that.
Yeah, so we have a capital campaign. It's a $100 million campaign, and the endowment is one piece of it. We're working on some capital projects. We're building a workforce center out in Gresham. But in terms of an endowment, the kind of work that we do, and I've learned over these 30 years, is that you never know when funding is going to take a dip. And what an endowment will allow you to do is maintain services through those dips. And it's essential that we create an endowment. Also, I would say, when we want to innovative projects, it's tough to find dollars to innovate, and because you never know what the expenses may be as you start down that line. And so an endowment will allow us to mitigate the challenges of funding and also allow us to innovate. And I think that's been at the heart of the growth of POIC has been our ability to work with our partners to innovate.
We got less than a minute now, but I have to mention that you're great friends with the NBA, former NBA star Terrell Brandon. You played ball together, won a high school championship in the 80s at Grant High School. How is that athletics experience translated into what you're doing now?
Yeah, so great question. I believe that, being a former athlete, you understand the commitment and dedication to a craft. And so I have taken what I've learned through athletics, and I've applied that at POIC. So there's no time off. We always have to get better, and it's about working with a team to win the championship. In our case, winning the championship is meeting our vision, and that is that all people in our community have the skills necessary to be self-sufficient.
And your former coach, Mr. Stillwell, is part of your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Former high school coach. He's been involved with the organization for about 20 years. He's leading our facility, still trying to tell me what to do. I'm waving him off constantly. Last thing I want to say, Ken, is I want to congratulate you on your 39 years. You just celebrated 39 years. And on behalf of the whole community in the POIC community, I just want to say thank you, man, for doing you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
Joe McFerrin II, appreciate you being on Eye on Northwest Politics.